Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. Since we've been getting a lot of heat in Ontario, I have a request for a movie to cool us off. So, two sidewalk photographers, a bank heist, and a gangster with an alibi. This week we're going back to 1943 for a comedy film called Hit the Ice, starring Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, Ginny Sims, Patrick Knowles, and Sheldon Leonard. And this is directed by Charles Lamont. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins with two sidewalk photographers, Tubby McCoy, played by Lou Costello, and Flash Fulton, played by Bud Abbott. They aspire to work for a local newspaper since an editor has promised them a job as newspaper photographers if they can give them a scoop. On the street, they bump into their childhood friend, Dr. Bill Burns, played by Patrick Knowles, and soon after, a fire alarm signals a burning building, and Bill offers Tubby and Flash a ride to the scene in the ambulance and some help with their first scoop. While attempting to photograph the inferno, Tubby is injured and brought to the Fulton Hospital where Dr. Bill Burns works. While they are there, Silky Fellowsby, played by Sheldon Leonard, a big-time gangster, is admitted as a patient to establish an alibi for a bank robbery he is planning. Mistaking Tubby and Flash for two Detroit hitmen, Silky expects them to guard the City National Bank entrance while him and his boys rob it. Thinking they are hired as photographers for the gang, Tubby and Flash agree, saying, "No problem, we'll shoot anybody." When the gang robs the bank and returns to the hospital to hide out, Tubby and Flash are considered the prime suspects. Meanwhile, Silky and his gang head to a ski resort in Sun Valley to recuperate, while hiring Bill Burns and his nurse to care for him. Knowing they have photographs of the real robbers and wanting to clear their names, Tubby and Flash go to the resort where they are hired as waiters. With a little help from aspiring singer Marcia Manning, played by Ginny Sims, they attempt to retrieve the stolen cash by blackmailing Silky and his gang. So, does Silky discover his alibi wasn't the best choice? Do Tubby and Flash clear their names? Do photographs prove to be worthless? Or does a climactic ski chase down the mountain give their local newspaper its best scoop? Here's some quotes from Amazon's top reviewers. Made at the height of Bud and Lou's popularity, Hit the Ice is a very fun time for fans. There are some great routines mixed with some of their best slapstick. Abbott and Costello in a chilling comedy. This is one of the better put together Abbott and Costello movies from beginning to end. A great supporting cast, and fans of the 40s music will enjoy some nice songs from vocalist Ginny Sims and the Johnny Long Band. A really fun movie for those who love vintage movies. A great deal of thought was put into this movie to give the audience their money's worth. And I totally agree. And our trivia question this week, did something happen on the final day of shooting of this film? Did something happen on the final day of shooting of this film? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Since part of our movie was filmed in Sun Valley, Idaho, I thought it might be interesting to talk about Sun Valley history and some fun things that will help cool you off. So Sun Valley, Idaho is a resort town that was built in the 1930s next to Ketchum. It was the first destination winter resort in the U.S. It was developed by W. Averill Harriman, the chairman of the Union Pacific Railroad, primarily to increase ridership on their passenger trains. The success of the 1932 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York spurred an increase in participation in winter sports. A lifelong skier, Harriman determined that America would embrace a destination mountain resort similar to those enjoyed in the Swiss Alps. During the winter of 1935 and 1936, Harriman set his sights for an ideal location for a winter resort. Purchasing a 3,888-acre ranch named Brass Ranch near Bald Mountain, it was built in 7 months for $1.5 million. The centerpiece of the new resort was the Sun Valley Lodge, which opened on December 21st, 1936. Author Ernest Hemingway completed For Whom the Bell Tolls while staying in Suite 206 of the lodge in the fall of 1939. Averell Harriman had invited Hemingway and other celebrities to the resort to help promote it. Such stars as Gary Cooper, Clark Gable, Errol Flynn, Lucille Ball, Marilyn Monroe, and Milton Berle often visited. Even Adam West had a ranch in the area. And Sun Valley's oldest resident was former actress and silent movie star Barbara Kent. When this movie came out in June of 1943, Sun Valley was closed as a tourist resort. Instead, it served from 1943 to 1946 as a convalescent hospital for the U.S. Navy for veterans wounded in the South Pacific during World War II. Interesting. And if you can't get to Sun Valley, here's a list of ways to cool off. Eat coffee ice pops. Yes, instead of drinking hot coffee, consume your brew completely frozen. Make an ice cube necklace. It will melt all over you throughout the day. Run sprinklers under your trampoline. Yes, great for kids, but sounds dangerous for us adults. A solar-powered Western hat. Yes, with a built-in fan. And here's one guaranteed to work every time. Pick a fight with your spouse just before bedtime. Yes, this will stop the heavy breathing immediately. And the number one on my list, watch CinemaHistoria's Hit the Ice and subscribe. Hey, I write the script. I can put that one in there. And the answer to our trivia question this week, did something happen on the final day of shooting of this film? Yes, actually, on the final day of shooting, the team appeared on their weekly radio show where they were crowned the nation's top box office stars of 1942. And very well deserved, I must say. It's a lot of fun watching this movie, winter or summer, so give it a try. I'd like to thank Frank for the loan of his skates behind me. These are actually Bobby Hall CCM skates made in Canada of 1970s vintage. A big thank you to Heidi for her request. I hope this helps you out, helps you cool off. I gotta go. I gotta see if Tubby and Flash made it on the train. We're heading to Sun Valley. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope to see you back next week.
There's our chance. First trombone. First sax. Second sax. First base. Second base. Third base. Shortstop. Shortstop. First trumpet. First trumpet. Second. Shortstop.